These Hot Idiots is a podcast featuring our hosts, two full-grown adult men. Together, they watch teen drama and young adult-oriented television shows one episode at a time. These Hot Idiots is a comedy podcast and isn't meant to be taken as real criticism. This podcast uses adult language. Listener discretion is advised.
Why are we in Georgia?
The fuck? How did we? Wait.
Georgia.
We just ended up in Georgia?
Yeah, we're in Georgia now.
We were in Spoons before. How the fuck?
Yeah.
What's going on?
We're doing a bit.
Doing a bit for you guys.
Welcome to episode 11 of These Hot Idiots. Coincidentally, episode 11 of season 1 of the Vampire Diaries. I'm Ash, that's Mega.
Yes, this is Vampire Diaries season 1, episode 11, Bloodlines.
BTM Bloodline.
Just fucking put in your Vampire the Masquerade or Roman Reigns jokes.
The starting recap has a lot of legwork to do. Because it's just
really
been the same picture of Stefan jumping from a roof for like 10 episodes, and now it's
they cut that out.
Now it's
episode.
like kissing, all this shit happened, okay.
Elena found the Catherine picture.
Elena found the Catholic picture, Bonnie got possessed, Damon wanted the thing to open the tomb, and then Bonnie blew it up, and yeah.
It's a completely different...
Then we cut to the same car crash as last episode, but it's like in this weird mirror upside down zoomy shot.
Yeah.
Well,
we also have, I think we actually started off with Stefan like trying to call Elena and being like, we're meant to see that picture. It's like, why do you leave it out in the open or something like that? Just like,
I mean, I understand heat of the moment, but like if you knew that picture was going to be a problem, why'd you just leave it like sitting on a shelf?
yeah, why do you just have that out there?
That makes no sense. Yeah, she crashed her car.
Yeah, Elena hit a dude who turned out to be a vampire. He like slowly like puts himself back up, but it's like you gotta be a real weirdo. Actively let yourself be hit by a car, even as a vampire.
If you let yourself get hit by a car, was that an attempt to kill her? Does he know that's Elena in the car?
I have no idea.
I don't know if he knows it's Elena in the car. Because he approaches the car, and then right before he looks, he runs away really fast. And then Damon jump scare.
Damon jump scare.
Damon jump scare of, are you okay?
Trying to make sure that Elena's okay. He kind of breaks the door off.
Yeah, he breaks the door off, and then he breaks the seat, and he gets her out of the car. Make sure she's good. She kind of stumbles back to her feet because she just got in a car accident. And she's like, I look like her. And then she passes out.
And there's not even like a who from Damon. At first he's like, what? And then it's like, it dawns on him like,
Damon gets it. It's fine. He's like,
he
okay.
gets it and he's just like, son of a bitch.
Let's see. Alaric Saltzman is writing in his Alaric Saltzman blog on the internet.
He's found the vampires.
I found a vampire and murdered it, and like, apparently there's vampires here? Like, holy shit. And then the scene cuts to blue, and we see Alaric Saltzman just like walking into a bedroom, the one he's currently in, that he's typing in his blog. And there's a black-haired woman there, and she's like, Alaric Saltzman, I love you.
Yeah, so blue means that we're in a flashback.
Yeah.
Orange means we're in Mexico.
Yeah. It didn't turn orange when they went to Georgia, so it must be when they're in Mexico.
Yeah, exactly. It's only orange when you're in Mexico.
I feel like I've got my faculties a little bit this time now that I'm not dying.
Yeah.
Except there's like this weird fly infestation after like a big rainstorm hit from that tropical storm that hit California.
Yeah, water attracts flies, yeah.
Yeah, so I just had to kill like a shitload of flies earlier when I was making dinner.
I imagine Oliver was a big help on that.
No, Oliver is absolutely zero help.
Oh yeah, no, he wants out.
I purchased a fan and he's scared of it. Because because the fan turns. Also, I'm getting invited to the Vampire Diaries Discord. I'm not sure you guys want me there. I'm not.
Whoa, what? How did you get How'd you get an invite?
It popped up on the wiki page to join the Vampire Diaries Discord wiki Discord.
No thanks. We're good.
Hey, if they're cool with me, I'm cool with them. But if we're not cool, then we're not cool.
Then we won't talk to each other.
Then we won't talk to each other.
That's just what you do.
I'm gonna use this as a pivot to say that, like, it's okay if you like the show.
Oh, absolutely. This is just us being just.
It's okay if you hate the show also. But if you hate the show and then you meet someone who likes the show, don't fucking ruin it for them. They have a thing they like. It doesn't affect you. Who the fuck cares?
Really does not affect you to not be a dick to somebody because they like.
We're not hate watching the show. We're just curious watching the show because we're curious
about it.
We heard
We've been enjoying it.
We heard it's get kind of fucking weird, and I'm interested in that. It gets real
weird and stupid from what we've heard. But honestly, we've actually been enjoying the experience.
I would say it's a mildly positive experience. I laughed a lot.
Oh hell yeah! There's a lot of good times in this episode.
There were some moments where the acting was good, and then some moments where the acting was less good. Mostly when it involved like certain characters.
Yes.
Mainly Tyler and Jeremy. I don't think they're great.
Tyler wasn't in this episode.
Tyler's not in this episode. I'm just thinking
neither are Matt and Caroline.
Because I feel like the main cast, they're fine emotions wise. I like Damon's actor. And like
Summer Halder's good.
I don't know, just I'm trying to figure out what I wanted to say, but I'm not sure because it's like, no, we don't hate the show. If you hate the show, good for you. Don't be like those weird people who just like make 15,000 videos about how much you hate like a show that lasted like 2 fucking seasons. Then it's been canceled already.
We could just say High Guardian Spice.
Yeah, don't be like those people. It's just like, man, this show's so bad. Why is anyone what? It's been canceled. Like,
it has been a dead. I don't know how you're still making videos about this dude.
The fact you're angry over such a mid show just makes me think that like you have nothing going on in your life.
You have nothing in your life, and that's sad.
Because even me, someone who didn't like this show when I first like heard about it, can find things I'm entertained by in the show, and also say that season 1's actually been pretty good so far.
Season 1's been very solid.
It's
like,
just
not a lot of weak episodes.
There's this fucking like, just don't fucking confirmation your bias your way into hate watching a show.
Yeah.
Just, if you don't want to watch a show, don't watch it, and if you do, go watch it. It's easy.
I feel like if a show gets so bad that we actually like
discourage you from watching it.
Not even discourage you from watching, but if we hate a show so badly that just the experience of watching it is not fun for us, we'll probably just drop that show and move on to the next.
That's true. If we both hate it to the point of like watching it is misery, I feel like we would just be like, all right, and that's it for this show. We're gonna do a different. hit the gong. Hit the big X button. Get that guy with the comically long hook cane. Pull it by the fucking neck.
The crook.
Yeah, get it out of here. Get him out of here.
throw on a movie. For the next episode.
Simon Cowell hit the X, but we're both just sitting there being like, something's gonna happen. We don't know yet.
Yeah. No, right now we are enjoying the experience of watching Vampire Diaries.
Yeah. And if you invite me to the wiki, I'll join, but I probably won't say anything, and I'll just post music like a weirdo. That's what I normally do in Discord.
Or pictures of your cat.
And pictures of my cat who's stupid and scared of fans.
Stupid. He's scared of fans. He's scared of like...
Scared of bags of sugar. I remember that.
Sugar bags, yeah. There's like so many things this cat is scared of, and it's just like...
Baby. He's a little chicken baby. I don't know. Oliver's my
little... he hates the sound of food sizzling.
He doesn't like food sizzling. I was cooking steak once, and he was like, ah!
So... Dumb boy.
Yeah. So, Damon does something with Elena that makes the most logical sense, and that is bring her unconscious body to Georgia.
All the way. It's like an 8-hour drive to
Also,
Georgia.
he doesn't
from
know if
Virginia.
she's like hurt or not. So, like,
Yeah.
didn't give her any blood. Just hope she doesn't have like a brain bleed or something as he drives her to Georgia.
Yeah, she could have a concussion right now. That's
Elena's like,
what the fuck?
where are we? And Damon's like, Georgia. And she's like, Georgia? You took me to Georgia?
Why did he take her to Georgia?
It's the land where peaches grow, Elena. They sip lemonade and talk real slow.
God damn it.
Get that LFO reference in.
Oh, fucking LFO, man.
Yeah, I used to hate watch things, and then I'm just like, why am I miserable all the time? It's probably why.
Yeah.
I remember we hate watched Ruby, like when it first came out, and then
At least
we
that
were
was
like,
fun, and
it's
then
got some
Volume 5.
potential, and then they fucking ruined it.
Like, Volume 5 happened, and I was upset.
Yeah.
And I never wanted to watch Ruby again after
And then
that
apparently it got worse, so we got out at a good time.
Yeah, apparently it got worse from there.
I just keep... So, like, Elena wants out of the car because Damon technically kidnapped her and sent her to Georgia.
Technically is doing a lot of work there.
It's carrying a lot of weight right now. He technically kidnapped her.
He absolutely kidnapped her.
He absolutely kidnapped her and sent her to Georgia. And then Elena like stumbles. Elena stumbles out of the car because she's still hurt because Damon didn't fucking heal her. And then she says something really strange in context. She's like, I can't be in Georgia. She never elaborates because, like, Damon just starts talking.
I think it's more she's in disbelief.
I can't be in Georgia. I can't be in Georgia. If I close my eyes, I'll be out of Georgia. When
you're crossing at least, like, 3 or 4 state lines, it's a kidnapping.
It's a kidnapping if you're taken out of a city in a car.
Like,
Damon uses his advanced vampire powers to check on Elena, who's in disbelief.
He took her out of Virginia, crossed both Carolinas, and went into Georgia.
Yes.
This is straight up a kidnapping.
Stefan calls Elena's phone again, and Damon picks it up because he has her phone, and he's like, hey, I got Elena, she's cool. And Stefan's like, if you do anything with her, I'll fucking cut your goddamn head off. And then he's like, yeah, she's fine. It's fine.
The annoying part is there's always the question of where's Elena. And Damon only tells her that they're in Georgia. He doesn't tell Stefan.
What is Stefan going to do? How long does it take for him to run to Georgia?
I don't think he has nearly enough animal blood to get there. Yeah.
Just imagine a dude with fucking Wile E. Coyote legs running down a highway trying to get to Georgia as fast as he can.
Occasionally stopping to maul a deer.
Ah! Elena.
He's also got to occasionally stop to maul a deer to get some more animal blood in the
Elena,
system.
despite being kidnapped, is very angry at Stefan and refuses to speak to him over the phone. And that makes Stefan think that Damon's hurting her. And he gets mad. He's like, son of a bitch. And then he like throws his cell phone real hard.
Christ. Elena, you're being kidnapped.
Like, I don't know if I could trust you. And it's just like, then tell Damon you're in Georgia. You're in fucking Georgia.
Tell Stefan you're in Georgia.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Tell Stefan you're in fucking Georgia.
Like, Damon kidnapped me. I'm in Georgia. Help.
Damon kidnapped me. I'm in Georgia. I don't know what you can do in Virginia, but you can start running to Georgia. Unless you had a car. I don't think you have a car. You have to be invited into a car.
I think he does have a car.
If you live in a car, do you have to be invited? Does the vampire have to be invited into the car you're living in?
That's a great question. Answer in the comments below.
Answer in the That's the question of the day. Motherfuckers, if you're watching this, I want to know.
Do vampires have to be invited into a car if you live in it? Do vampires have to be invited into a mobile home?
I have all these edge cases that I want to know about that no one will answer me on.
I want fucking like paragraph arguments in these goddamn comments on this.
Jeremy's at school with Alaric Saltzman, who's looking for his ring in the car.
Ring, which isn't a vampire son.
It's not a
ring.
vampire ring. Now that we know he's a vampire hunter, it's just a ring.
It's probably just his wedding band.
And I assume they talk a little bit about like the essay or something. We immediately cut to Stefan calling Bonnie, or actually Bonnie just talks to Stefan because they're at school.
Yeah, they're at school.
And he's like, I'm not in school, but I want you to find a spell to find Elena, who's in Georgia, but I don't know that.
Yeah, can you
He
find
grabs
where
like
Elena
a
is?
trinket that Elena has. It might be that like necklace he gave her.
Probably.
He tries and nothing happens after like squinting really hard and wiggling her fingers at the. You gotta know
nothing.
If you're a witch, you gotta learn spells. You don't just go woo and then something happens.
You can't just You can't just set things on fire, Bonnie, and hope that your problems will be solved.
I would. That's fucking funny in my head. Imagine if
tries and it catches fire.
Elena's just like, or Bonnie's just like, I need this like thing of Elena's to track her, and then she squints at it and it just lights on fire. And Steph is like, that doesn't fucking help.
Shit, wrong spell.
Hold on, I gotta put it out. Yeah. You're just an arson, Bonnie. Fuck.
An arsonist, aren't you? Pyromaniac.
So, Damon's vibing on the radio. Oh yeah, Bonnie runs off after talking to Steph, and she's like, "Oh, there's something wrong with me.
I gotta talk to my Grams.
I hope my stepson doesn't eat the fish." It's a System of a Down song.
Yes, which is not gonna be in this episode because they would never.
They're not based enough to do that.
They're
By
not.
the way, that song is called "This Cocaine Makes Me Feel Like I'm on This Song." From their album Mesmerize. Good album.
I think it's back to Elena and Damon driving.
Elena and Damon are like in the car again, and Damon's jamming to some butt rock.
Yeah.
And she's just like, okay, why are we in Georgia? And he's like, we're going to Atlanta. I got to meet a friend. And then she's like, why is your friend in Georgia? And it's like, because there isn't a fucking like vampire bar and grill. I was like,
man,
I would love
I
would love a restaurant as a cover for a vampire meeting area.
A fucking bar and grill.
Here's your
bloody steak on the menu.
Here's your beef bourguignon with blood on it.
Beef bourguignon.
Cordon blood.
Cordon blood.
Oh, you want a filet mignon?
Mignon. It's just we got B positive, O negative.
We got typo negative.
And JR's barbecue sauce.
JR's barbecue sauce. Blood is the third ingredient on the bag.
I was just like listing off like all their blood types as if they were sauces, and then JR's barbecue.
JR's barbecues. They show the picture like they're in a commercial, and it's like Jim Ross's head. So they go to this bar, and Damon sees this like older girl, and calls him a honey pie, and they just start kissing.
Yes.
That's Bree.
She's the owner of Bree's Bar, Bree, played by actress Gina Torres.
Yeah, and her last name is Barr. Bree Barr.
Her last name is Barr. Gina Torres, for those of you who are fucking nerds, might recognize her as Zoe from Firefly.
I have never watched Firefly in my entire life, and I was a teenager on TV tropes, so I heard Joss Whedon sucks, so I haven't watched.
Also, Joss Whedon.
I haven't watched anything he's made.
Yeah.
Even though Buffy the Vampire Slayer is apparently very paramount to like 90s serialized TV.
Yes. Also, it might be necessary watch for these hot idiots at some point.
If people ask, I'll watch it. But
Yeah.
you know, you got to twist my arm first.
And we got a lot of other stuff too, so
Yeah,
you'll
then
have
we'll
to,
get.
it's gonna go in the backlog.
It might go in the backlog. Bree's just like, and here's to the man who ruined my fucking life.
Just pouring all these shots.
Pouring all these shots, and Elena's like, what? Bree's just like, oh, so you're his new chick, huh? Like, she's not my chick. And she says, if you're not roped, you're whipped. What does that mean?
Okay, sure.
I guess if he's... I feel like being compelled by a vampire means that you're whipped, technically.
And roped.
But how is that different from roping?
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of both. Like you're roped and whipped, and now I've just got a fucking really different like.
Or is she saying that like if you're not in love with him, he's forcing this on you or something?
Maybe.
Back in the 80s or whenever they spoke before, it might have been the 90s. She is a vampire, and she found out.
Well, she said 20 years ago, so it would have been the 80s.
Yeah. She learned he was a vampire, and he learned she was a witch. And then she mentions to Elena, who's a teenager, that he's good at fucking.
Yep.
We cut to Jeremy, who's at the Quiet Zone.
The Quiet Zone. He's in the school library, but there's just a
He's in the school library, but there's this giant space poster, and it says, "You are now approaching the Quiet Zone."
Quiet Zone.
So now I'm going to call it the Quiet Zone anytime Jeremy's at the school library.
Anytime the school library shows up, it's the Quiet Zone.
He kind of wanders between two sets of shelves, and then some books fall out when he's like reaching to grab them. And then this kind of like mall ropey haired girl, not ropey haired, but like her hair's really unkempt, like you didn't wash it for like a fucking entire week.
Yeah.
She wears a lot of purple, or she wears like a lot of dark colors. She's got freckles. It's like, oops, I dropped your book, sorry. So they both reach down and then they bash their heads together.
The meet cute.
Says her name is Anna.
Everybody's got a new love interest.
Yay.
This could. Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
Oh boy.
He looks weirdly young.
Yeah.
Like, there's not a lot of teenagers in this show that look like teenagers, but this girl looks like a teenager. She's got a very like small face. Not small face, but like she's got a very.
She was born in 1991, so.
Yeah, she was.
So actual teenager at this point, in comparison to everyone else.
Is Nina Dobrev older than her? I think she
most likely.
Probably.
Nina Dobrev was born in 1989, so she's like 2 years.
This person is like fresh out of the teens, so that makes sense.
Now it makes me wonder.
It's just when you got that baby fat on your face, and you just kind of look like a little teenager, pretty much. Bonnie is reading books, just books. It doesn't matter what books. She's reading like 5 books at once. She's like,
She's just kind of looking at them like, which one do I go to?
Grandma is just Grandma Witch comes in and she's like, "Chill your shit, Bonnie."
Chill your shit.
Like, there's clearly something wrong with you, and you're scared of something.
Face your fears.
Face your fears. Damon is just trying any kind of way to get Bree to open the tomb for him because he's out of ideas.
Because he lost the crystal and the comet's passed. Because she says, like, I gave you 3 easy steps. Comet, crystal, spell.
And you fucked up 2 of them.
Like, he no longer has the comet, or he no longer has the crystal, and the comet's probably passed at this point.
Yeah, the comet's passed, so he's kind of fucked.
Damon's fucked now.
And he keeps like, what if I use like a different crystal and a different comet? Would that work? And she's like, Emily tied the knot, and you gotta get an Emily to untie that knot, or a Bonnie.
Need a Bennett for this.
You gotta get a Bennett. This is Bennett. Bennett has like it's got a Bennett maker's mark on it. I can't replicate that.
Yeah, it's like
Or that's or I'll get sued for copyright infringement on spells. I can't do that.
Yeah, it's got like this is an airtight spell.
So Bonnie is at the tomb and she's like, "Come on, magic it up. Here we go. Magic time. Time to magic. Ooh, I feel it, baby. Float this leaf. Float the leaf. Come on, let's go. Let's go." And then she just falls through the fucking floor.
Yes.
She doesn't do any of that.
She does not do any of that.
She's just trying to get her magic working and she falls. After hearing some like weird creaky sounds.
Yeah, she's hearing creaky noises and you figure she's gonna get attacked and then she just
Bonnie fell.
falls through the then she fell.
Elena's still mad at Stefan and like is completely ghosting him on phone calls. And it's just like, you're being kidnapped.
Being kidnapped.
Damon jump scare 2.
Damon jump scare 2. They're spoiling up this episode.
Yeah, he just sort of shows up while Elena's talking on the phone because Stefan called her again. And he's like, "I'm talking to you." When Damon walks out with Elena to talk to her and check if she's okay, Bree turns on the blender and then makes a phone call.
Did they ever explain who she calls in this episode? Or...
She calls the guy who attacks Damon.
Oh,
Name's Lee, I think.
Yeah, okay, that guy. Oh, I missed that part.
Bonnie got her shit fucked up, and she's all like,
"He got fucked. She's got a fucking concussion, probably. She's definitely got like a scraped knee.
She's got like a scraped elbow and a scraped knee, and then she gets up and it's like there's a pentagram on a door, and I just started making jokes about, "Oh, Ronnie James Dio's in here." Dio. Gotta make those like little devil horns and talk about the man on the silver mountain. Right?
Chains are off.
The chains are off. Stefan is being kind of a big sad right now, but he wants to figure out where Elena is, and he's got to figure out where Bonnie is to find Elena. So he goes to Bonnie's house, and old grandma opens the door, and they shake their hands. Or they shake hands, but grandma's just like, "I don't trust you. I ain't letting you in my fucking house." And then Stefan's just like, "I gotta go find Bonnie, and like, I'm your best chance at this." And she's like, "Okay, go find Bonnie. Bye."
Bonnie went to do this. You can probably guess what that means.
And he does know what it means, and he does go off after she doesn't let him in.
Like, deal with something that's
back
bothering
in
her.
the quiet zone.
Quiet zone.
Anna needs to use shampoo, and Jeremy's trying to figure out the subject for his local history paper, and she keeps being like, "Hey, vampires. You should write about vampires.
Vampires.
There's a lot of vampires."
Kind of going back and forth on what vampires mean, and
now Elena
metaphors.
and Damon are eating burgers.
Oh yeah, there is the. Oh wait, that's not happened yet. Okay.
They're eating burgers together, and he's like, "Wow, it's really weird that like Stefan didn't tell you that you look like his ex. That's weird, isn't it? What a creep."
We get some more vampire lore. How vampires can't get pregnant.
They can't fuck.
Well, they can fuck. They just can't make babies.
They can't get pregnant, but they can fuck with 2 C's.
They can't form babby.
They can't. How is babby formed? No damn fears for you, Vampire Diaries. Get out of here.
Can't have it.
He keeps trying to make Elena eat pickles, but she doesn't want to eat pickles when she wants to. She doesn't like pickles, but she orders a beer, and Bree just gives this teenage woman a beer.
Gives a teenage girl a beer. Also, we learned that vampires have a digestive system as long as they have blood. Their bodily functions are normal.
Man, there's not a lot of downside.
I have the question of what happens
being emotional and sun.
What happens if you run out of blood in your system while you're pooping?
I assume you get hunger pangs and you don't just immediately die or something.
Yeah, but like, do you just stop pooping?
Do vampires even poop is the question.
They have normal bodily functions if they have blood in their system. So,
Okay,
yes,
so their
they
body
probably...
can digest pickles and turn it into poop.
But what happens? What happens if you
I
run
feel
out
like
of
you
blood mid
become.
digest?
I feel like if you're weakened by lack of blood, you still have some blood in you. It's just you become weaker and weaker until you can't move.
Okay.
Until you
And the
can't.
bodily functions just kind of go
And
as
if you
normal.
can't
Okay.
poop no more, then I'm pretty sure you're beyond the brink of like mortal danger when it comes to being a vampire. Unless there's like a vampire who just is desiccated and trying to use a toilet for the last 20 years.
They're in that tomb.
They're in the tomb of the boom, and the boom is poop.
They're in that tomb, and they've been wanting to poop for centuries.
Let me out. I've got to poop.
Ah!
It's been 100 years.
Well, there you go. There's the downside of being a vampire.
I have to poop. I'm gonna poop right now.
Well, folks, if you ever wanted downsides of being a vampire, just imagine an eternity of really wanting to poop.
And like everyone says, I can't just poop on the floor. But it's like, why do they care? We're all trapped in here. Elena makes a weird face from drinking, and it's like, oh, I guess she doesn't drink.
Well, you would ask, like, does Elena drink? And then she, like, takes a sip and just grimaces, like, immediately.
I was
like,
joking,
no.
like, and then Elena's like, I'll take a Pepsi.
Yeah.
Anna's still like, vampires. You should write about vampires. There was vampires. Everyone wrote about vampires back in like the 1800s. And then Jeremy's like, the vampires was probably the Union soldiers.
It was a metaphor for the Union.
It was a metaphor for the Union soldiers written by the Confederates. Because vampirism is when they don't let you keep black people as servants. However, that metaphor works.
Just like a big old
And it just tells Jeremy not to think about it.
That her family also kept journals about the
vampire
about the
journals.
Were they the
Vampire
Diaries?
Jeremy keeps trying to pivot this into like the Union, and I just am not here for it.
No. And also just sort of the mentality of like, wait, did you say your family has a journal? Was it the Vampire Diaries?
Oh my god, logo. I would do it so every time they say it, a logo shows up.
Yes.
Just as a joke.
I mean, it doesn't actually say if it's a Vampire Diaries. I just think that's
No, it
funny.
reminds me of the Billiam video about Lost, and every time someone says Lost, the Lost logo would just appear really fast and then go away. I love that.
Good.
I love that shit. I would do that
good.
if for like my real show. If I made a show, just if anyone says the name, it would just be like, like faster than you can observe.
Subliminal shit.
Yes, it's like, why does the logo keep showing up every time they say the name? And I'm like, cuz title drop. Yeah, baby.
What are you talking about?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about.
And it's like, when I first met you, Jeremy, like 5 minutes ago, I thought you were an idiot. But you're not an idiot. You're smart, except for this weird union thing that you're on about.
Don't worry, Anna. Your initial guess will turn out to be right about it. Pretty stupid.
Yeah, he's pretty stupid. Bonnie's trying to use phone, but phone don't work. And then the rare Stefan jump scare.
Stefan jump scare.
He's like, I'm here.
Episode is so good for jump scares. It's amazing.
He grabs Bonnie and does a big old leap out of the tomb.
Get out of the tomb.
And then she's just like, oh my god, there's like a real tomb and it's full of real vampires who want to poop. And he's like,
a pentagram.
When vampires don't get blood, Bonnie, they defecate. I mean, desiccate. I mean, defecate.
They desiccate.
Desiccate. I mean, defecate.
I mean, desiccate.
And they turn into mummies.
Need to poop.
Elena's getting real fucking drunk.
No, she's like fine actually. Not even like she barely even slurs her speech.
She's at the end of the Atlas 500 and she's rolling deep and they're going real fast and real left.
He's down shots and she's fine. She is fucking zooming at this point.
She is zooming, and David's just like, how much beer did you fucking drink? God. And other people at the bar are like, I'd fucking die if I drank that much beer.
And it's like, how are you not drunk, Elena? Like, you're underage. You have probably next to no tolerance. I don't know how you have tolerance.
You have to build up a tolerance. Also, you're like 100 pounds.
You're like in the 110 to 120 range.
You're kind of tall. You're like 5'9" or whatever, but you're very skinny. Like, I don't think you could get drunk. Or I don't think you'd have a tolerance to getting drunk.
Especially since I don't imagine you've drank all that much. Like, at most, I think she had a champagne.
A champagne.
Champagne, but that's about it.
Was I? Beep, 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 beep. Bree's friend. Damon's just like, I can't drink that much beer. I can't unhinge my jaw like a snake. And then just
drink like snake.
Bree's friend shows up at the bar and he gives like a little aside glance. Anna and Jeremy are playing foosball back at the
They're at like the Spoons Grill, aren't
they're
they?
at the Spoons Grill or something, and they're playing foosball, and she's like, vampires are real. And then she's like, oh, I watch The Lost Boys and Near Dark all the time.
Near Dark's actually a deeper cut than you'd usually get for this kind of thing.
Yeah, I haven't watched it, but I've heard of it.
I've actually not heard of it, surprisingly.
It says that there's a connection because both ones are like a good vampire falling in love with someone and Vampire Diaries.
I was more surprised that Anna hadn't heard of the Lost Boys, and it's like, really?
Anna doesn't know what the Lost Boys are, and she's like, and Jeremy's like, really? And she's like, oh, we can make it a movie night. We can make it a Fright Night.
Ooh, Fright Night. That's another good one. Another good 80s vampire flick.
He turns down the date idea because he doesn't want to date right now because he got mind wiped about Vicky, even though Vicky's not that great even.
And also, admittedly, this was like 2 years before the Fright Night remake with Colin Farrell.
Yeah. That's
disappointing.
He doesn't want to date right now, but she can like insist and says, "Yeah, we could do it as like a friend thing." We cut back to Elena, who is even more drunk, and she is playing pool.
Yeah,
I like characters having a thing they like doing.
I love that they've been consistent about the fact that Elena plays pool.
She's actually decent at pool, and she's like, I'm doing great. And then Jenna calls her, and she's like, hey, Elena, are you good? I haven't seen you all day. And there's like this loud music playing, and she's like, haha, I'm fine. Hold on, let me go outside. It's loud in here. They're playing whatever the CW is playing right now. I gotta go outside. Ooh, whoopsie, I fell. And then she gets kidnapped by the guy that Bree called.
Yeah.
Who moves really fast, so he's a vampire. Damon's just like, where's Elena exactly? And Bree's like, I don't know. So Damon's like, I gotta go fucking find her again. God damn it. Keep my beer cold. I'll be back.
Who kidnapped my kidnapping victim?
Who kidnapped my kidnapping victim? Damon sort of wanders off to like this, I guess like a factory maybe? And then this guy just runs up and starts breaking his fucking kneecaps with a baseball bat.
It's so good.
And also, for some reason, every night scene is yellow. And like, this is really similar to what happened last episode. And just Damon's just getting his shit pushed in by this guy.
By a vampire.
By the way, he said that he was strong because he drank a lot of blood compared to like fucking Stefan. But he is just getting like bodied by like two newbie vampires.
Two newborn.
Back to back.
He's probably not a newbie because he was turned by Lexi.
He was newer than fucking he was newer than Damon. Because Damon
Oh yeah, that's true. He is a bit of a rookie vampire in comparison.
Yeah, because he was just like, I wasn't always a vampire. So he just beats the shit out of Damon.
Just cracking his kneecap
Fuck
and then
you,
starts like,
fuck you, fuck you.
fuck you, fuck you.
And then he
fuck
grabs
you.
a can, he grabs like a jerry can and just starts pouring gasoline. He's gonna set Damon on fucking fire. And Elena's tied up and she's like, no, don't do it.
Is she
Come on.
tied up? I think she's just standing in a high spot.
Okay, she's standing in a high spot, I guess. I thought she was tied
He
up.
eventually gets down. You think he would tie her up, but no.
The guy's like, David killed my girlfriend. And he's like, what the fuck are you talking about? You killed Lexi.
Yeah, like this becomes a back and forth between Lee and Elena, where Elena is trying to convince Lee not to burn Damon alive. And I'll be honest, I don't understand with this because Damon's an asshole.
What's to lose?
What is to lose? Damon is evil. Stefan might be sad that his brother died, but at the same time,
You'd be like,
Damon's trying to
shit got
unlock
caught.
it too.
Like, you think that Elena could come home and just go, Damon kidnapped me, and then this guy tried to kill us, and Damon died, and he let me live. It was the guy it was Lexi's boyfriend. He killed Damon.
And it's like, yeah, Stefan's gonna be sad that his brother's dead, but his brother's also a shitbag who's trying to resurrect like a whole bunch of like
A whole bunch of vampires
in
in a tomb, and like kidnapped fucking Elena.
Elena, he's gonna wipe out the town basically.
Multiple people that Stefan knows, including Lexi. And
Killed Lexi. He turned Vicky and got her killed.
He turned Vicky and got her killed. He pretty much like got the town like a couple steps ahead on this whole vampire hunt thing. And I feel like he'd be fine if Lexi's like boyfriend just killed Damon because he was upset at Damon. But let Elena live because she's got nothing to do with
this. It would
this.
just be karma for him.
It would be
honestly.
karma, and I feel like Stefan would just be like, what can you do? Like,
I had it coming at some
I
point.
miss Damon, but he was pretty much gonna die. Like, someone was gonna kill him at some point.
Like, if it wasn't gonna be me, it was gonna be someone else. He made a lot of enemies.
There's a blood trail for him, especially. But for some reason, Elena talks him down, and she's just like, Lexi was a good person, and she wouldn't want this, even though David fucking totally murdered her. And that means you're a good person, too. Also, you're a vampire. And he's like, to be with, like, a vampire, you gotta become immortal. And then she, like, pauses for a second, because she's probably thinking about her and Stefan or whatever. Eventually, he backs down and doesn't set Damon on fire. But he does throw him into a fucking wall.
Just hurls him across the street into a wall.
Hurls him all the way across the street into a fucking wall.
And then zooms right out.
And then just runs away with his head down like, eh. By the way, that guy never shows up again. It is
listed that this is the first and last appearance for Lee and Bree, and we'll talk about what happens to Bree.
We'll talk about what happens to Bree, don't worry. Damon gets up from his broken kneecaps and he's like, I guess I'm alive.
Thanks. Holy shit.
Damon does suck. Elena's like, thank you, guy. And he runs away.
Yes, he off into the night.
Bonnie's grandma is still at home, and Stefan brings her home and reveals her name is Sheila.
Yeah, they know each other.
And they know each other from the 60s because she staged a sit-in during the Vietnam War, 1968.
Base Sheila Bennett.
Base Sheila Bennett. Also, they could have done like 1968 was also like during the sit-ins for civil rights, and I'm wondering why she wasn't at one of those. But
don't think about it.
Don't think about it, I guess.
Oh boy.
Unless it was like a combined civil rights / war bad thing.
Very likely. I can imagine. They wanted to double dip on their protesting.
And she's like, it's dangerous that like we're together again. And like
we're
the
sneaking around
towns,
each other.
we're sneaking around each other. And if they see that we're around again, the council's going to come after us. And Stefan's like,
yeah.
or the founders are going to come after us. And Damon's like, I know that the founders are. Sorry, my brain.
Yeah.
Stefan's like, I know, but the founders are really stupid.
Founders are the worst at this.
They only found Lexi because Damon tipped them off. They would have never found her unless he didn't tip her off.
Led.
Damon
led
and
them.
Stefan are off the wanted list. They are beneath suspicion. They've been cleared.
They think that Damon's helping them.
They think that Damon's helping them. Why would they suspect Damon or Stefan in this circumstance?
Oh my god.
So weird.
I will admit,
She still won't invite Stefan into her house. So Stefan says goodbye to Sheila and lets Bonnie go home.
It seems like this that make me think, man, Stefan's just a genuinely just good dude.
He's just he's just trying real hard, and I could commend him for that.
Like one of Edward Cullen, he is so much better, honestly.
Well, one of the complaints about Stefan, according to like some fans, is that he's kind of boring. But I feel like that he's got this like chivalrousness to him.
He's very chivalrous. He is very Captain America.
He's very he's very Captain America. He's very chivalrous. He doesn't trick people or fuck around more than he ever needs to. He tries to like play things above the table. Edward, from what I remember, is aloof as fuck.
He's aloof as fuck and very awful.
And I would say dangerous, even.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There is an uncomfortable vibe with him.
There is no danger at all around fucking Stefan, though. He seems like just a straight up. He's playing the Paragon run of like Mass Effect. He's picking all the He's picking all the blue options.
Yeah. Well, his brother over there, he's picking the fucking what's like the rogue,
Renegade,
the renegade options. And
like, he doesn't care how many times Morgan dislikes this action. He will constantly pick the good option in this show.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Damon's like, yeah, Morgan approves so much.
The rest of the team hates me.
Except for the dog, because
the dog's stupid.
Dog's stupid and loves me no matter what.
Bree is very sad. Damon just zooms into frame off screen.
Damon jump scare free.
Damon jump scare 3.
Oh wait, no, Damon jump scare freeze later, but it's in the
Damon
scene.
Potential jump scare, off screen jump scare. Bree is very sad and full of vervain.
Which she apparently puts it in all of her drinks and stuff.
I put vervain in all my drinks. And it's like, that probably tastes like shit.
Also, what do you think the effects of prolonged vervain exposure are?
Probably nothing serious. Like if you're drinking like vervain tea. But like,
also,
does she do that every day or just when Damon's around?
Yeah, that's the question. Is it just when there's vampires about, or is it just specifically now? Like, or is it every day just in case?
She turns around to walk away from him, but Damon jump scare again.
There we go.
He threatens her, and she's like, Emily's spellbook can open the tomb if you have the Bennett spellbook. Like, you can open the tomb. And he's like, for real? And she's like, for real. And then he's like, okay, so you took vervain, but I could still rip your fucking heart out.
Kalima!
And there's like this sad music that plays during him ripping her fucking heart out.
Ripping her heart right out of her chest.
It's just sad boy music is playing.
This fucking show, man.
And then they cut to just Stefan, or they just cut to Damon and Elena in the car, and she's like, why'd you bring me to Georgia? I'm gonna pretend I didn't see you murder that lady.
Stop introducing these cool older female characters that you then immediately kill off.
I love it when you immediately kill interesting female characters who aren't love interests, damsels, or bitches.
This is the second time it's happened. So if I had a nickel, I'd be very annoyed because I had these 2 nickels.
Yeah, and you can't even. Maybe you can get like a Tootsie Roll, but that's about it. And who sells individual Tootsie Rolls?
It's annoying that it's happened twice. Not weird. It's annoying because it's like
Damon's like, I needed company to go to Georgia, and he was bored. And Elena's like, oh, I used to be so fun back before my parents died. I used to get drunk all the time.
I play so much pool.
I played so much pool. Also, I saved your life. And he's like, you did. So you fucking owe me. Elena shows back at Stefan's house and confronts him over her looking like Catherine and him not telling her. And he's like, you are not Catherine. Catherine sucked. Actually, like, I've noticed how not Catherine you are ever since we met. And she's like, the first day of school. He's like, no, I met you before that. And she's like, what? Claims he met Catherine early 2009 when her parents died on a bridge.
They fell off a bridge with her in the car.
He tried to save both of them, but the dad shook his head and wouldn't let me save him because he wanted to save you. And it's just like, over the conversation of you who's saving who, you could have just tore all their fucking seatbelts out.
Yeah, but it was the way things had to go.
And then I rescued you, and you're like, oh my god, you look like Catherine. So I spent the rest of the last couple months seeing like who you were and what you did, but like you didn't seem like Catherine.
Like, yeah, he started.
But I didn't want to confront you because you were sad. Elena doesn't know why she looks like Catherine, and Damon just is like, I went and got your birth records, and it said that you were born Elena Gilbert, but your mom was never admitted to the hospital. And I'm just like, you got her birth record?
What the fuck, man?
Who'd you talking to getting her birth records?
So he admits he has been stalking Elena before they met, and that's weird. But it doesn't feel like it's out of some sort of obsession with her or anything. It doesn't feel like one of those things.
He wanted to know if Catherine was like back
alive again or something.
And he realized this chick is not Catherine, but just looks like her.
Yeah.
And then he was like real awkward about meeting her for the first time. So they say that like, Catherine wasn't a Gilbert, and why are you a Gilbert? And that means that your parents adopted you. And she's like, what? I was adopted. Oh. Back in the quiet zone, Anna is
in the quiet zone
showing stuff to Jeremy.
Like records of animal attacks.
She went to Google.
Went to Google, which you can do as long as you don't show it.
As long as you don't show the Google website. Because you could just say you Google things, because it's kind of like Band-Aids. We just call it that.
Yeah.
He talks about how there's raccoon attacks since 1942. Every couple of years, raccoon attacks. People drained completely of their blood by weird raccoons with blood extractors.
Raccoons don't live this long, Jeremy.
Raccoons don't live this long, Jeremy. And he's like,
can't be.
There has to be vampires. These raccoons, the conspiracy is too complex for raccoons. It has to be vampires.
Goes too deep.
We are at the bottom of the raccoon hole, Jeremy, but it keeps going down, and you don't understand that.
Keeps getting deeper.
He's still talking about like how she's adopted, but he loves her. I love you, not Catherine.
Not Catherine.
They hug.
At some point,
Elena goes home, and Jenna's pissed.
Like, where the hell were you?
Where the hell were you? You know, I usually keep a loose leash on you because I can trust you. but you just fucking like iced me out, and then you went and did something I don't approve of. And then Elena turns around and is like, why did you tell me I was fucking adopted, you asshole?
I'm adopted.
I'm adopted. She runs upstairs, and Jenna's like, well, your parents told me not to fucking tell you.
And it's like, but Elena's just like, I'm mad at you.
I'm mad at you. Door slam. Alaric Saltzman is just chilling at the bar, and he keeps thinking about his wife, and when that one time when she went, I love you, Alaric Saltzman. And then he sees Damon at the bar, and then the flashback happens again, and then it's Damon who killed his wife.
Damon killed Alaric Saltzman's wife.
And Alaric, you killed my fucking wife.
He like slams his hand down on the bar. I almost thought he was
about to. I thought he was gonna slam the drink onto the bar, but no, he just like puts his drink down and then slams his hand on the bar.
I thought he was gonna like grip his glass until it like shattered. Like,
and that's the end of the episode. We cut to black with him slamming his hand. Here's a fun fact about the episode, or a fun fact about the Vampire Diaries. There is an entire wiki article about heart extraction. Because in the recap of the episode, it says the heart extraction is in blue. You can click it.
Or in like orange, depending on...
Or in blue in the sense that you can click it. In orange because that's the wiki theme. I just love the fact that it's like heart extraction.
And it's like, it's what it is.
It's what it is. Known victims of heart extraction and known users of heart extraction. So apparently a lot of people are just going to get their hearts ripped out for some reason. I haven't looked over it in detail because I didn't want to like look too
spoilers.
No spoilers, but it's just weird that the list includes like 24 people plus.
We're gonna get so many hearts ripped out.
We're gonna get so many hearts removed, and there's gonna be sad music every time, I assume.
And speaking of music,
this episode was strange.
Oh, this episode was very strange, but also very fun.
It feels like the plot moved along, but also it just had some weird shit in it, like them going to Atlanta.
Like them going all the way to Georgia.
I know they did it because they film in Georgia and they just had footage in Georgia, but like, why did they go to Georgia?
Why did they go to Georgia?
Were there landmarks
for this?
Were there landmarks too recognizable in Atlanta that you couldn't like fake it? You couldn't like Seattle double or Vancouver double.
Yeah, no.
You couldn't just Georgia double.
Because they had to make a new set. They had to make a new set for Bree's Bar.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't really have mattered all that much.
Maybe. This weird trend of introducing a new female character and then immediately killing them is really weird.
It's really weird, and I hope it doesn't keep happening.
I wonder how many times they're gonna do that.
Oh my god! I hope no more, please. I'm still like, I still haven't recovered from Lexi.
This is our halfway season break. Next week will be not Vampire Diary.
Oh, don't forget, we gotta look at the soundtrack.
Yeah, I know. I'm just mentioning that this is
okay.
This is our halfway point.
Yeah, we got halfway through the first season, so we could do our mid-season movie. I'm
excited and also kind of not excited at the same time.
I'm both excited and also dreading at the same time because
our first song, "Cosmic Love" by Florence plus the Machine.
Florence and the Machine. I remember when this started playing, I was like, "This sounds familiar," and my brain was like, "Is this Florence and the Machine?" I was right.
Yes.
And I'm not usually on the ball like that. I'm
Florence
like, how did I recognize?
Pretty good. Like if you listen to her discography, they're pretty good.
I don't though, so I was like, why do I recognize this somehow? It's Florence and the Machine.
They have some songs that are popular. People like the cover of "Stand By Me." They did. You got "An End Has a Start" by Editors.
Editors. They're another frequent one along with Telekinesis.
Yeah, along with Telekinesis. We've got "On a Mission" by the Dandelions. Never heard of them.
Nope.
"Between the Devil and the Deep Blue Sea" by Black plus Mustang.
Black plus Mustang or Black and Mustang or just Black Mustang. Who knows?
It might be Black Mustang. I don't know. I feel like I've heard of them before. Let me see if I can find them. Black Mustang band. I'm not doing the plus. It seems like they didn't release any more albums.
Ah, man, you get that Vampire Diaries money.
You got that Vampire Diaries bump, and then you're just like, I don't need to make any more music. Okay, they made an album in 2022 that no one listened to, and it's got one track, so it's an EP. It's like a single, I think.
They got an EP.
So we got Between the Devil and Deep Blue Sea, Black Mustang, and Loaded Gun, which no one listened to Loaded Gun.
Amazing.
Let's see else. We've got Can't Stop These Tears, brackets, From Falling by the Black Hollies. Probably when sad stuff happens.
Probably.
We've got Trouble by Hope Sandoval and the Warm Inventions, which is
my God.
That's a weird fucking name.
Weird. I can imagine there's a reason why they're not well known in the pop scene.
Yeah. We've got Push by The Steps.
Don't want to push someone on the steps.
You don't want to push anyone down the steps.
It's a bad idea.
Got Pepper Spray by The Upside Down. Upside Down is one word, by the way.
The Upside Down, which now just the way I read it, I just keep thinking of Stranger Things now.
Wrong show.
Wrong show. Not a thing yet.
The Night Before by The Stereotype. Look Inside by That Dig. Oh, you're going to be excited for this one. Only One by Alex Band.
Alex Band.
Alex Band.
Former leader of The Calling.
The Calling.
Fuck yeah, dude.
But I feel.
Wherever you go.
Alex Band and his band.
Alex Band. Oh, Alex Band without band.
Alex Band sans band.
Yes.
Got Out of the Blue by Julian Casablancas.
Know that one?
I actually know Julian Casablancas.
Yeah.
I gotta remember the name of the band, actually. He was part of the Strokes. He's the lead singer of the Strokes. He was also on the Rapid Access Memories album in a pretty banger of a song.
Rapid Access Memories?
Yeah, from Daft Punk. He was on the Daft Punk album.
Oh, Random Access Memory.
Random Access Memory, sorry. Yeah, he's good. He's good.
He's good.
The Strokes released an album in 2020 recently, so they're still doing stuff.
And then there's Nothing Is Logical by The Bell. Not heard of them.
Dang.
Eh.
Well, I think that'll just about do it for reviewing the episode, I believe. I've started uploading these on YouTube because for some reason more people are watching on YouTube than anywhere else.
Yeah, hope y'all enjoy just a whole backlog.
I hope you like I uploaded all the episodes last week.
Yes.
And it, by the way, episode 10 already has like 6 views.
Nice.
On there. So just watch it wherever you consider comfortable watching it. I know it's just a picture of like 2 stick figures kissing, but it's a podcast. You're probably tabbing out and listening to it from somewhere else. So who the fuck needs video? Who watches a video podcast? That's my question.
Who watches a podcast in a video format? You know, you're
like,
just listening to it while you're at work.
If you're some chud listening to Joe Rogan podcast, do you need to know what Joe Rogan's doing with his little bald ass head? Like,
you really
he's probably
need
sitting there. He's probably sitting there smoking weed. Like, what do you think is happening? And he's like, oh, whoa. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, man, cool.
You really need the visual aid of seeing Hulk Hogan when you're watching the Joe Rogan Experience. Yes, Hogan's going to be on an episode.
Why?
Don't fucking know, man.
It just seems like... I hate Joe Rogan's podcast. It sucks. I hate it. Anywhere you see a podcast, if you're from the Vampire Diaries Wiki Discord, invite me. I don't know.
I don't know. Say hi.
Say
leave
hi.
a comment.
Share with your friends.
Yeah, share it around the Discord
share it around the Discord if you want. Yeah, we are. I wouldn't say we're fanboys or haters. We're just kind of two dudes that we're just watching this because we're curious.
We're just here to watch, review, have some laughs.
Yeah.
We're most important is that we all have fun here.
Yeah, we're having fun here, so whatever. Don't kill the vibe.
Don't kill the vibe.
We'll be back with Twilight the movie wherever we can get it. I might have to rent it or something. I don't know.
I think it's on Max.
It's on Peacock.
Oh fuck! Wait, is it on Peacock?
We don't have Peacock. I might have to ask Rob for his Peacock so we could watch Twilight.
Yeah.
Just tell him it's a work expense. I don't know. At least it's not like Netflix and it's just like, oh, sorry, you gotta pay to watch this with friends.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
And also, you can find us on Tumblr because we're not on Twitter because fuck that.
X.
You can find us Twitter. Our
I
Tumblrs
think there's
are...
only one reason to be on Twitter right now, and that's because like porn isn't banned, and you just go there and you look at porn. That's like the only reason. That's like the only thing that you fucking go on there for, because OnlyFans is like paywalled. It's just porn. That's the only reason people use it. Tumblr doesn't have porn, so that's that's why they're not as popular.
But yeah, you can
Elon
find us
Musk
on
didn't
Tumblr.
want to buy fucking Tumblr though, because he's like, Tumblr.
Yeah, you can find us on Tumblr. Tumblr users MegaFighter343 and Ash Nightshade.
Ash with an E, by the way.
With an E.
I did that to be different.
Yeah.
Also, I didn't want to be called the Pokemon guy, because I've never played a Pokemon game like more than an hour.
Alright, I think that should wrap us up.
See you next time, you sick perverts. Bye.
See you next time.
I have no soul.